We've all been told, right? Feeling anxious? Just go for a run. But have you ever stopped to really wonder what's actually going on inside your head when you do? Well, today, we are diving into the incredible new science that shows exactly how moving your body can literally rewire your mind to fight back against anxiety.
Let's just start with a number that's, well, it's pretty hard to wrap your head around. According to the World Health Organization, back in 2019, this is how many people across the globe were living with an anxiety disorder. It is the single most common mental health condition in the world.
And here's what's even more wild. The data shows that only about 27.6% of those people ever actually get any kind of help. That leaves millions and millions of people trying to manage it all on their own.
So this brings us to a really powerful question. What if one of the best tools we have to fight anxiety wasn't some new pill or a super expensive therapy session, but something most of us can access right now for free with almost zero negative side effects?
Look, we all know exercise is good for us. That's not news. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're going so much deeper. We're going to unpack the science to see exactly how moving your body can literally change the structure and the chemistry of your brain to make it tougher and more resilient to anxiety.
So let's start where all the magic happens, right inside the brain. This is where just a single workout can kick off an amazing cellular and chemical reboot. Okay, so this might look a little complicated, and that's because it is. Exercise isn't just one thing. It's this whole cascade of events that are all connected. It kicks off in your muscles, sends signals all the way up to your brain, and even retunes your body's entire stress response system. We're going to break down the most important pieces of this, one by one. You know that burn you feel in your muscles when you're working out? For decades, we all thought of lactate, or lactic acid, as just a waste product. Turns out, science had that completely backwards. It's now understood that during exercise, lactate is actually a high-octane superfuel for your brain. So how does this muscle fuel actually help your brain grow? Well, it's a really cool chain reaction. As you exercise, your muscles start pumping out lactate. That lactate travels up to your brain to be used as energy, and that exact process triggers the release of this amazing molecule called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. The easiest way to think about BDNF is like it's fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps you grow new neurons and makes the connections you already have stronger, which is what scientists call neuroplasticity. Exercise also acts like a master chemist inside your brain, rebalancing the key neurotransmitters that control your mood. It helps regulate serotonin, which can make you less sensitive to stress signals. It boosts GABA, which is basically the brain's main chill-out chemical. And it increases norepinephrine, which in turn helps release even more of that amazing brain fertilizer, BDNF. But hey, it's not all just happening in your head. Exercise has this incredible calming effect on your entire body, and it does that by taming your central stress response system. This slide just lays it out so clearly. Chronic anxiety keeps your system stuck on high alert. You've got high cortisol, lots of inflammation, and your HPA axis, the body's command center for stress, is all out of whack. Regular exercise does the exact opposite. It helps keep cortisol in check, it lowers inflammation, and it builds a stronger, more resilient HPA axis. And honestly, this might be one of the most important takeaways. It's not about trying to get rid of stress, because that's impossible. It's about getting better at handling it. Regular exercise is like training for your stress response. It teaches your body how to bounce back to a calm, normal state much faster after something stressful happens. Okay, so we've covered what's happening at the cellular level in the brain and the systemic level in the body, but there's a third equally powerful layer here, how exercise is a direct workout for your anxious mind. This all happens through a powerful psychological trick called interoceptive exposure. It sounds super technical, I know, but the idea is actually really simple. You learn to stop being afraid of uncomfortable physical feelings by experiencing them over and over again in a safe situation. It basically retrains your brain's fear alarm. So check this out. The physical symptoms of anxiety, a racing heart, sweating, being short of breath, are the exact same things you feel during a good workout. And that's not a coincidence. It's the whole point. By making your heart race on a treadmill or getting breathless lifting weights, you are sending a loud, clear message to your brain, see, a racing heart doesn't mean something terrible is happening. It just means my body is working hard. You are systematically teaching your brain not to freak out over these feelings, which breaks that vicious cycle of fear that fuels anxiety. So we have gone through a lot of the science, the why and the how. Now let's get practical. How can you take all this information and turn it into your own personalized anti-anxiety exercise plan?
A really key idea here is that it's not one size fits all. The science suggests that tailoring what you do to your specific needs is what really maximizes the benefits. For example, if you've got moderate anxiety, just 10 minutes of activity 5 days a week can make a difference. The real goal is just being consistent and finding what feels right for you.
Let's break that down even more. For that general, everyday kind of anxiety, research shows that aerobic exercise, we're talking running, biking, swimming, is incredibly effective. If you're also dealing with other medical conditions alongside anxiety, resistance training has been shown to be a real powerhouse. And for anyone with physical limitations or who just wants a gentler approach, low-intensity stuff like yoga and Tai Chi are amazing, evidence-backed choices.
So, what's a good target to shoot for? Well, the World Health Organization gives us a really clear guideline. The goal is to get at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity activity every single week. Now, I know that can sound like a lot, but if you do the math, that's really just 20 to 40 minutes a day. Totally doable, right?
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. We're so often taught to see exercise as a chore, something we have to do for our physical health. But based on everything we've just seen, from boosting brain fertilizer to literally retraining your fear response, what would change if you started to see it differently? What if your next workout wasn't a task to check off a list, but a powerful, targeted prescription for your own mind?